Da 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 da! What's my good chair? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. Just a few minutes. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives before, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And this week, we picked a word, a powerful word, and we've been working on it all week. I've been working on it all week. And it has been, kind of heavy on me because at the same time that I'm kind of right, I got something wrong. I'm happy to have another opportunity to delve in a little bit deeper. But it was also in the lesson, and it was in this one lesson, and a few times this week, uh, you know, uh, I brought it up that moment, right? Maybe it was a half an hour, maybe it was 20 minutes. It was a big moment, just not in that moment, but a moment that even in my storytelling, it impacts me. And that story was that last half an hour with my mother where we found forgiveness, right? And you guys know I've talked about it a few times, more than a few times in my storytelling because I know it's a key component of my movement forward. I would have to say a key component of me even waking up to any of these ideas, right? It is in the gifts of having these answers, right? Being able to learn that one lesson and things open up for you, right? Those answers you've always been searching out for, those answers I've always been searching out for, but they just kind of like never there. It just seems sometimes some of these answers were so obvious or should have been so obvious, but I was just blinded to it all, right? Got to take that as in my choices. And it's true. It's in my choice to forgive. And it's in other people's choices to forgive me because, right? I'm not innocent in that. And it just reminds me of a little post or documentary. And it was, those without sin cast the first stone. I think it's from the Bible, right? It just popped into my mind, but it's popped up a couple of times this week. So I want to make sure that I take note of that and express that I'm taking note of that because it is in taking in the lessons and in it's not passing the lessons, but not needing that lesson again because it's absorbed into you, that things kind of open up a little bit more, right? Been struggling because, I've been working a lot in complex trauma and understanding emotions and understanding the narcissist coming from a narcissistic dynamic myself. But I come from a dynamic full of empaths too and highly sensitives. And wow, what a mix is that? But that's part of, right, what I'm doing here and I want to go further in this, but in going further in this, it's not topic, right? I want to keep my channel light. I want to keep on these words, these powerful words that have impacted me and helped me move forward, to help me get those lessons. And in this lesson of forgiveness this week, I got a gift, right? Because I've also been struggling in that movement because I want to go further, right? But I want to keep my YouTube light, right? Still bring the lessons in my experiences, but I want to work on myself and in working with myself and in that promise to bring it forward and in sharing that a lot of this would not be right. It's not part of my brand. It's not part of my brand, but it's part of me, right? And there was that thought, how do I do this? right? Do I want to do this because I want to do this, right? I want my adventures. I want to create the best human being I possibly can. I want to have fun with this. I want it to be light. I want it to bring me smiles, and I want it to bring other people smiles. But some of the topics that I do feel compelled to delve into, they're a lot heavier than the words, right? Same topics, forgiveness. We're still going to need these same lessons, but delving into the why of it, right? That heavy work, that heavy work that I'm not sure if I'm ready for, but I'm feeling compelled to move forward, and that's what's coming next, and that's what's being served, and right. And so today, in absorbing, I hopefully a little bit better this word forgiveness, I think I was offered a gift of understanding. And it's a lesson I knew already in being able to combine it all together, right? And share it all. But I think in sharing it all, I would be sharing others. And I think it would be better served a little bit more in the background, those further steps, right? These powerful words will still be the same lessons in that, guaranteed. But to be able to open up and freely talk about some of those heavier subjects that don't fit in this quirky, unique kind of blend of introduction to what I do. That's a good way of putting it, isn't it? And I was gifted that today. I don't need to, right? But if I do, right, and I will, because I feel it, all right, I'm full to it, can't help it, then that's where this plays in, because in the background, it's not seen, right? It's not heard in the background, which means that it has to be in that interactions that we have, possibly here on my brand, right? That little bit of introduction to what I do. Maybe that will, right? But I think more it's in those real connections, in those real binding, because they are binding, because, right? Now you're coming off of your sense of, right? There's a lot of negotiation, and there's a lot of wall letting down in that end. That should be a little bit more private. I mean, there are other things that are heavy that are going on, not necessarily in my life, but in my family's life, right? And in that proper respect, right? We keep that private. We keep that in the family, right? We keep that as those things that we're working on, right? In our own evolution. And so that little gift of I just wanted to share that, was that idea that when you forgive, when you truly forgive, the lessons come, right? Because you're done with that lesson. You're done. That's how you know, right? Is you're done with that lesson for yourself. It's not like you're not going to share those lessons. You're not going to live by those lessons. You're not going to express those lessons. But that work of not understanding it, right? That is the completion of that lesson. And we move on to the next lesson, which we will do. We have one more day after today. So we're going to keep it light in that gift that I got today, right? Kind of honor that, right? It just confirms that I am with the right people, right? That there's always a way. That, right? If you really want something, there's always a way. And if you're willing, right, possibilities are limitless. Okay, you guys. I've got to end it today. Just wanted to share that, if you're working on this word alongside me, right? You'll know you're done with it, right? When that gift comes of, right? That understanding, you'll know what it is. It's going to be different, I assume, for everybody, right? And I'm going to keep it to myself because, well, in the moment, it needs to be with me. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. See you tomorrow.